up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Woo! Good morning, CSL Simi Valley. What a lovely morning. Dennis Bryan. Hi. Yeah, just stay there. Because we're going to make you earn your money today. You singing all day long. Every song. I'm going to have you singing in the middle of my talk, everything. How's everybody doing this morning? Oh, my goodness. I need to look at my notes because I'm not sure what does that say? All right. Yeah, I got, the class and discovery and all that, but you know what it is.
Yeah.
I came prepared. I showed it to Holly and Eileen, because I don't know if I'm going to make it through this one. This is one of those really hard moments, you know. This is where we really have to dive into the spiritual teaching and how wonderful it is, as strange as it sounds to use the word wonderful, it is, that the reason we have to dive into the teaching today is a person who gave us the way to do it. What's the way to do it? To know that love prevails. Right? Who did she not touch in this space? Who did she not touch? March 11th, there'll be a service here at 11 o'clock. So just mark your calendars. We're going to be celebrating Dee's life on that day. All right? And to look at these principles that we study and to really understand how to move into the spaces that we need to move through to express all the experiences of life and know that inside those experiences there is love always prevailing. We're going to have a class. It starts on Tuesday. It's called Powering Your Decisions. Raymond Charles Barker's book, The Power of Decision, is the textbook for this class, and I've been doing the class myself the last few weeks, just getting ready for teaching it. And see, this is one of those moments because Dee would be my TA for that class. It's just, she's like everywhere. Stop it! Gary and I have been having some wonderful conversations where we cry, laugh, and scream all at the same time because there's so many mixed up emotions going on, right? But this class is, it's really about looking at how we think and understanding the power that we have to shift our consciousness and to move into a space of knowing the truth. And it's also going to be a lot of fun. And it might be a little bit of work. Not so much a lot of book work, but it's going to cause you to look inside and ask some really deep questions. But I guarantee you, answering those deep questions will shift your life and give you the power to make the decisions that you need for your life. One of those decisions I would love for you to make is to become a governing member here at the center. If you are not a governing member, or if you're wondering if you are a governing member, then you're probably not. So that would be a good reason to come to the Discovery class that's going to be next Sunday right after service. We'll talk about the center, the history of the center. We'll talk a little bit about Science of Mind teachings, give you a rundown on how things happen here, and empower. The biggest part of the Discovery class for me is empowering you to understand that it's not my church. It's not my center. It's our center. We are centers for spiritual living. How do you step into that? You become a governing member so that you can be a participatory action member into making this center the powerhouse that it is within the centers for spiritual living internationally and within the world globally. Because we are something to be reckoned with. We are something to be reckoned with. Lisa.
How long is that class?
That class next Sunday, couple hours, depending on how, the thing that happened, just like the little boy said to his dad when they were at church one Sunday. He said, "Dad, what does it mean when the minister looks at his watch?" And the dad said, "Nothing, son." So I'm going to shoot for 2 hours, but it could stretch a little bit longer depending if I show a video or not. Okay, so dude, yeah, that'll be fun. All right, so that takes care of some of that kind of stuff. We already understand why we're here, but let's anchor it, because sometimes the repetition is allowing it to go into the cellular level, and once it gets into the cellular level, then we begin to live it on the outside. So let's do our vision and mission statement together right now. Here we are. We're community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God in gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's who we are, that's why we're here, and here's what we do. Marianne Giblin, practitioner of the day, please lead us in prayer.
Good morning. All right, so please know with me that right here, right now, right where I am, there is this one perfect life. And it's the truth of me, it's the truth of each and every one within the sound of my voice. That divine peace, poise, and power is right where I am, right where you are. And so I know that right where each and every one is today in this service, they're perfect. They're purely expressed as the divine, incarnate in so many different forms, in so many different songs, in so many different technological expressions. I know that this good is right here, right now, guiding and directing us. And I know that the perfect expression of this good, that is the presence of D, that rock of love prevailing everywhere throughout this service, is guiding and directing us now. And so I give thanks knowing that this blessing is already done as my word is spoken or better. I surrender it to the creative fields. I let it be, for I let it be done. And so it is.
So it is. How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today? How can I serve today? Who needs my love today? Who needs my love today? Sweet Spirit.
I've had a lot of conversations this week with Dr. Susan, and as we talk about the Guardians of the Cosmic Kid Galaxy, we want to let you know that we are holding the space for our youth program to grow and expand. We're also in the process right now of certifying all of our Guardians so that we can make sure that we are in compliance with California law. But in the meantime, we want to do our prayer work to say, kids, come on down, because we got a program that'll rock your life. I mean, I just think about what would it have been like if mom and dad had taken me to a Science of Mind church when I was a kid. Wow, right? We were talking about Riverstones a little bit later. Things would have been a lot smoother along the way with this teaching deep inside. Anyway, ask John if you want to know, because he grew up in this thing. All right.
So I'm going to read the affirmation today, and then I invite you to join me afterwards and sing it together. Consciously addressing life with open-ended curiosity grinds my rough edges smooth and forges my crooked pathways straight. And now together. Consciously addressing life with open-ended curiosity grinds my rough edges smooth and forges my crooked paths straight. And so I'm going to read less than 150 words, which was not my first choice reading, but then I counted the words, and certainly this one qualified. And it's from the Science of Mind book. I don't know if you've ever explored this book, but it's a gold mine. And there are, in the back, at least in the back of mine, meditations for self-help. And so I'm reading you one that I use oftentimes. It called to me long ago, and I often use it when I'm asking questions like, what's mine to do? What's God's to do? What's others to do? That calling forth that clarity, because it's like a mess, and like I don't know what the next step is. And so I use this meditation to kind of open the quiet space within me that communes with the Most High. And it is on. I'm not going to give you the page because you're not going to take notes today. So, but it is Meditations for Self-Help. The way is made clear before me. The way is made clear before me. I do not falter or fall. The way of spirit is my way, and I am compelled to walk in it. My feet are kept on the path of perfect life. The way is prepared for me. Well, the way is prepared before me, and that way is a path of peace, of fulfillment, and joy. The way is bright with the light of love and kindness. The way I tread is a pleasant and a happy one. I see the way, and I walk in it. I see the way, and I walk in it. And so now we'll move into the gap meditation. No? We got to sing. I'm so sorry. I thought this would be perfect, but you know, it's not my order of service. I can't, because that's like 150 words. Yeah.
Right on, Marianne. Good job.
Good morning, everybody.
You all know Dennis.
Glad to be back here. I brought you some Harold Payne music. I love his stuff. So this is a song called Shine On, which you may have heard. There's a burning feeling in the bottom of your soul that only your heart understands. Everybody's got a little love to give away. All we really need is a chance. Time is wasted. make a little face sometimes. How will you ever know? The world is waiting for you to share the gifts that you've been given. It's never too late for a new beginning. Everybody, shine on, shine on. Open up and let your light shine on. Oh, shine on, shine on. Open up and let your light shine on. Break out, break through. Break out, break through. Break out, break through. Time is wasted. You don't have to wait another minute to let your dreams take you to the limit. Shine on, shine on. Open up and let your light shine on. Put your hands together. Shine on, shine on. I feel it. Open up and let your light shine on. Let's repeat that chorus. Shine on. I threw everybody off. Shine on. Sorry. Open up and let your light shine on. Oh, shine on, shine on, shine on. Open up and let your light shine on. Repeat that line. Open up and let your light shine on. And we're out. Open up and let your light shine on. Thank you. Great job, guys.
All right, I'm back. And I will read this again as I invite you to join us in the practice of God awareness place, the gap meditation. The way is made clear before me. The way is, I do not falter nor fall. The way of spirit is my way, and I am compelled to walk with in. My feet are kept on the path of perfect life. The way is prepared for me, and that way is a path of peace, of fulfillment and joy. The way is bright with the light of love and kindness. The way I tread is a pleasant and happy one. I see the way, and I walk in it. And breathe that in. As you quietly move into the silence. I see the way and I walk in it. I invite you to come back to the room now. And know that if you didn't see the way in this brief meditation, to take this self-help meditation with you. And know that throughout your day, it will be revealed to you. And so with that, we'll complete. And it's page 527.
Thank you. Come on back up, Dennis.
This is another Harold Payne song, but it's my favorite because it's true, so true. We are all part of something greater. We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be. We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be. And we are all joined together in our hearts and in our minds and in our souls. We are part of something greater, something so much greater than any one of us could ever be. And we are all joined together in our hearts, in our minds, and in our souls. And we are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us. We are part of something greater, something so much greater than any one of us could ever be.
Beautiful.
Dennis Bryan.
Thank you, Dennis.
Wow,
Thank you, Harold.
that. A friend of mine once described a singer as sounding like smooth caramel. That was it. That was it. River Rock. Many of you know that song, Rolling River God? Rolling River God. I'm not going to sing the rest. Little stones are smooth. till the waters pass through. I almost named this talk Rolling River God, but I didn't want to steal somebody else's title. But I have a few of these stones I want to hand out to some folks just because I felt like it. But the song did really touch me. It just feels so perfect for where we are in life. Hey guys, welcome back. Here, have one. Yeah, it's, life deals us these tough blows sometimes, and then things get really busy, and we feel like we're just like filled with all these jagged edges, and it's hard to let our light shine through, but there is something greater that's moving through us, and that's kind of what I want to talk a little bit about this morning, is this spiritual energy that allows us to deal with those jagged edges and that flow of the divine that keeps just milling us down until we become that smooth stone. Nicole Norderman wrote that song. One of the lyrics is, I am a stone, rough and grainy still, trying to reconcile this river's chill. This river of life, it can be pretty chilling sometimes, as we know, but it also can be awfully thrilling at the same time. And we have the ability to move through all of it. I think of the oyster. Really sweet idea. You know, the oyster gets that little grain of sand in there, like a pebble in your shoe. You gotta get that out of there. But what does the oyster do? It takes its essence and it wraps its essence around the grain of sand over and over and over until it becomes a pearl. What a sweet metaphor for what we get to do with our lives. We get to take the essence of who we are, that thing that shines within, that thing that is something greater, that is within us, that we are a part of, and we apply that love, we apply that healing balm to whatever jagged edge is in our life, our essence, and we roll it and roll it and roll it around until we go through it smooth, until we come out the other side, healed, cleansed, and ready to go to reveal our divine perfection. The oyster is such a sweet metaphor for prayer, for treatment, for living life and doing the thing that Dr. Holmes says, treat and move our feet. And how important that is to know how to do, because it's fundamental to life. Change. It's going to happen. It's moving. Things are always moving forward. So why not be in joy of it? Even the jagged, rough edges, be in joy of it. Even the deep grief moments, be in joy of it. I have laughed and cried more times this week than I have in months. I came away from the most fantastic vacation I've had in a long time to the news that we received on Valentine's Day, and you're like, whoa, Alpha and Omega, and it's all the blessings and curses of life that allow us to feel the joy, because there is something within us that will let us move through it no matter what. There is a river rolling across our jagged edges to make our rough stones straight and smooth. Wow. If that's not a hopeful experience and feeling, what is? You know? As Mark Anthony Lord says, this is so good, it must be true. This is so good. This thing called life is so good. It must be true. It's worth celebrating. The changing of the seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, coming back again. Day, night, day, night, day, night. In breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. My old shirt becoming the quilt panel on my bed, you know. Or in my case, it's actually ties. My old ties lay on my bed as a quilt, you know, that my father had made for me. Right? It's absolutely beautiful. Nature demands the change. It demands the change. So we might as well celebrate it. We might as well just jump right into it and be excited about it, because after all, that is actually how we advance and how we move. I don't want to stay the same. I want to be different every day. Someone asked me yesterday, what does it mean to be born again in the science of mind? At the end of the service for Flow yesterday, which was absolutely beautiful, Jack. What does it mean to be born again from the science of mind perspective? And I said, I almost asked him, what does it mean for you to be born again? Because that's how I kind of approach these when people come with that kind of skeptical, who are you science of mind culty people? But this time I didn't do that. I didn't throw it back at him. I said, you know, it's interesting, but to be born again, I think from a science of mind perspective, is to wake up in the morning, know I have a fresh canvas, and to begin anew, to create my day in a way that allows me to be aligned with spirit. To be born again means that every time I have a negative thought, I can choose at that moment to have a positive thought, and therefore I smooth out my rough edges and move through my day in the river of life with joy, buoyant on the top of the water instead of buried underneath the water. I can walk on the water instead of be down in here, because that is no fun. Trust me, I snorkeled last week. It's not fun. Dr. Holmes says that when the change comes, we should welcome it with a smile on the lips and a song in the heart. And to me, today, that song is the rolling river God. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high. Never have I known this river dry. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high. What is that? What happens in that moment when it's raging wild, when it's swollen high? What happens for me, and hopefully for all of you, is I get curious. What the heck is going on here? Or, wow, what wonderful thing is going on here? I get curious about it. I recognize it as an opportunity to dive into principle, to make my life the way I want it to be, for you to make your life the way you want it to be in that moment. To notice. And as I notice, I see the harmony of life begin to return into my experience. As you notice, you will see that things become more harmonious. Questions that seem to not have answers suddenly have answers. The phone rings and there's the person getting ready to do the very thing you didn't think you could do for yourself. Or you walk down the street and you see somebody doing something. You go, it's like you're living in a Liberty Mutual commercial. You know? You know that commercial I'm talking about? Like, you know, the people are paying it forward all the time and you become a pay it forward person. This is what happens. But sometimes you don't change. It can just feel overwhelming. They have a phrase about that in the rooms. And if you hear the phrase, you'll know what rooms I'm talking about. Don't leave before the miracle happens. Don't give up before the miracle happens. The miracle will happen as we stick to it, as we stay in the river and let the water flow over us, as we bump against the other rocks so that we get smooth. It's life. Don't jump out. Don't give up, because we have this power that we can use. The law firm tells us, it guarantees us. Emerson, Holmes, and Hopkins, they tell us all the time. It's in the fine print. It's in the contract you get when you come into the building here. Hey, I think I'll create a contract for discovery class next week. Somebody write that down. Darlene, where are you? Write that down. I want to make a contract that we sign for discovery class, and we'll put Emerson Holmes Hopkins letterhead on it and make it an LLC. Never have I known this river dry. Never have I known this river dry. So how do we do that? Start with our thoughts. Don't take anything for granted. Question everything. Be a little child. Remember? Why? Why not? Question it all. What else have we got to do? I mean, we're living life anyway. Let's dive into it. Get busy. Don't take anything for granted. And don't believe everything you hear or everything you see. You know, that's what the great wise one said. Do not judge by appearances. There's a reason for that. Raymond Charles Barker says that every mystic and teacher, every religion and philosophy have explained with care that the factual world should be questioned. Because a thing is a fact does not mean it is a reality. It may be a fact today, but you put some prayer mojo on it, boom, a new reality unfolds. We have that kind of power to do that. We have the power to change facts into a new experience. Everything's changing, including the facts. Facts were, we couldn't fly. Now, I can be in Dubai tonight. Well, maybe not tonight, because it takes a while to get to the airport, and you got TSA. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Gosh, oof. I know, being in my brain is a wild. Do not. You do not. But, trust me, you start with a thought. That thought leads to an action. You take the action, and then that equals becoming. Thought to action, becoming. The river smooth rock. So the song goes on, says, when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. When I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time takes change, and change takes time. It takes patience, but it also takes perseverance, and it takes a purpose to understand why you're making the move, why you're making the change, what it's all about. That's going back to recognizing. That's going back to being curious. If you want to have a purpose, you got to get curious to figure out what the purpose is. You got to ask some questions. You got to go, what is this? What the heck is going on? I don't know why I'm being so polite today. What the hell is going on? Right? And sometimes it's even what the word is going on. But then once we know the purpose, we can begin to apply principle. That's the river metaphor. The river is principle. The river is the divine. The river is that thing, that process that we do when we go into prayer and to treatment. Patience, perseverance, purpose, principle. Then we can be like the kintsugi. You know the kintsugi, right? The Japanese, you break something and you put it together with gold, and then you cover it with lacquer, and then you heat it with fire, and it becomes this sparkling new piece of pottery. We are that. We are, the river rock I'm talking about, we're also kintsujis as well. We get stronger, we get better as we embrace that thing that looks like it's making us broken. As we embrace that stuff, we find meaning and value to life that was not there before. But it does take the fire from heaven that Dr. Holmes talks about. It takes a fire in the belly. You got to get excited about the change. It's coming anyway. The change is coming anyway. You might as well get excited about it. Celebrate it. Put some oomph behind it. That's what happens to the oyster. The oyster has the pearl, but it's clamped down on that puppy. How do you get the pearl out? You heat the oyster. You heat it up, and it opens, and you can get the pearl out. So we need the heat of life to get our pearl out there. We need the rough waters bumping against the other rocks to get ourselves smooth. It takes a certain amount of pressure. It takes a certain amount of hurt. In other words, to get our gold lacquer finish on our life. In The Science of Mind 365, another great book to read on a daily basis. I read that book last year. This year I'm doing Richer Living, but it's nice to have a daily guide that you can read that can guide your life, because life, wow, we need some support. And thank you for having this center that we can come to get that support on a regular basis. But it says that change takes place. This is Dr. Holmes' writing. It says change takes place little by little until gradually the old thought patterns become transformed into new ones by some, I love this word, some inner alchemy of the mind. We are all spiritual alchemists, as well as spiritual gangsters, the original OGs. So we have this power that we can use, right? This is where the hope is. This is where you go like, it's great. Love me some Jesus, but I don't have to rely on Jesus. I don't have to rely on Buddha. I don't have to rely on Allah. I don't have to rely on Baalula. You know who that one is? Okay, because I didn't, but I like saying the word. It's a great word. It's a great word. We can rely on the power and the spirit that is within us. That is all those things and names I just gave you embodied within us. We have that power to make this shift ourselves and collectively too, because since we're all the one, we also do it individually and we do it collectively. So our power is amplified by everyone else using these same conscious abilities to think and move and get forward in our life. This is some good stuff. It takes time, but we can feel you rushing by, right? And then the song goes on. The deepest part of me is where I want to stay and feel the sharpest edges wash away. The deepest part of me. That's what I was talking about, all those names of spirit. That's the deepest part of you. Just close your eyes right now. Take a breath. Now ask the question, who just took a breath? The thing that asked the question is the deepest part of you. And the thing that asked the question is the same thing that asked the question in me. And in the person sitting next to you, and the person sitting behind you. That is the divine presence. When we take that deepest part, that's when we can find the new ideas that can shift us forward with conviction and passion and fire into our greater yet to be becoming now. You see? And again, getting this curious about change and asking these questions about change and closing your eyes and doing all that work that we talk about doing, it can hurt. The thing that makes you ask the question can hurt. The pain can be there. It's going to be there. But it doesn't have to turn to suffering because we have these tools we can use. See, the suffering is when you get the pain and you go, oh, this hurts, and oh my God, this hurts. And you know, like the story with the guy with the ladder and the boat, the ladder, the four-wheel drive truck, the helicopter, and then he still drowned. You know, that's the suffering. But we got all those other things. We didn't even need the ladder or the helicopter or any of that stuff because we have treatment. We can start right away while we're still sitting on the porch watching the water rise. We can do the shift by diving in with the space of deep curiosity and feel the sharpest edges run away. See, we are free to choose. But in the freedom to choose, that means the possibility for some negative experiences to happen in our lives too. Because doubt and skepticism, and I know Reverend Stephen said all this stuff last week, but I don't know. That right there, that I don't know part, that's the doorway to suffering. You do know. You do know. When you close your eyes and ask that question, you do know. Trust that you know. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. Pain is not a punishment, and then pleasure is also not a reward. The thing is, it's going to change. Whatever consequence or result, it's going to change. So if it doesn't work now, that's okay. Later it will, right? You know? One of Flo's favorite sayings was, this too shall pass. It's one of my favorites, although I've changed a little bit. Because I think since change is already happening, whatever has come to you is going to pass, this too shall pass. So I say, this has come to pass. So whatever experience comes into my life, it can't stick around, be it good or bad, because it has come to pass. That is its process. That's what's happening. That's its experience. And that allows me to really grab on in the moment of all the joys because that has come to pass, and to grab on all the moments of pain because that too has come to pass. None of it's going to stick around, particularly when we use the stuff that we're talking about. Dr. Holmes says that suffering may be salutary in that it leads us to a place where we learn that it is unnecessary. I always thought that salutary meant like, hello, like salut. Salutary means healing. It means healing. Put that word in there. Suffering may be healing in that it leads us to a place where we learn that it is unnecessary. Bring on the suffering? A little bit. Because I've already dealt with the fact that it is unnecessary. And I hope you deal with that same fact too. And then, man, Nicole Nordeman, she was on some serious God juice when she wrote this song. When the sunset comes, my prayer would just be this one, that you might pick me up. Those of you that have the rock, hold your rock right now. That you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hand. That's what Spirit does for us. When we turn our attention to it, and the sunset comes, we have said our prayer, and then Spirit metaphorically holds us, and we are smoother in its hands. We're smoother because we have addressed the discomforts of life and the joys of life, ours, the other, the world itself, knowing that the answers were once on the edges that have now been rounded smooth, that no action is too small or too big for this process. And we can be like the lady that was on the beach cleaning turtles. And the guy says, why are you cleaning these turtles? And they said, well, you know, algae and barnacles and stuff, they get on the turtle, they disrupt its swimming, and they make it harder for the turtle to surface to breathe. The guy says, well, there's a lot of turtles in the world. Why are you going to waste time doing that? You can't handle all these turtles. He says, well, but this turtle knows that it means a big difference for its life. We only have to touch one turtle. We only have to touch one turtle. My man, Barack. I miss you, Barry. He says, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change we seek. Whether that change is for ourselves, for our loved ones, for our perceived enemies, or just this lovely space we call Mama Earth, wherever it is. We can be that smoothing water, you know? We can be the river rock, and so it is. All right. Does that road look fun? Who in here rides a motorcycle? I saw this, when I saw this image, I was like, I want that road. I just, vroom, 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 vroom. Man, sometimes crooked is a good way to go. All right, here we go. Consciously addressing life with open-ended curiosity grinds my rough edges smooth and forges my crooked pathways straight. Let's straighten some crooked pathways. Let's forge ourselves into some smoothness right now through prayer. So I'm going to ask you all to take a collective big deep breath and an audible release. And as we think about the things we've talked about, or what experiences you've had this week, or in life in general, just settle in for a moment and sit in the silence. And let the windows of your soul, the screen of your mind, display something. Just don't even ask for it. Just let it arise. Whatever it is that you see right here and now, even if you don't see anything, something will arise later perhaps. But here's what I know. That whatever arises is the divine whispering into the heart space, into that deep space of awareness within each and every one of us, of what is ours to do, what is mine to do. And I'm seeing right here and now that mine is to love and love only, and to let love prevail in every experience that I have. So I bring that power of love into this space here and now, and know that it blesses and heals and prospers us all. I am knowing that as I apply the healing balm of love to every experience and every emotion and every opportunity of my life, I know that every moment reveals more wholeness and more truth. Be that in the place of employment, of residence, of relationship, of nature. Wherever I see discord, as I apply that healing balm of love, using the power of the divine with purpose and perseverance and principle and curiosity and knowing that I embody the change that I see, I become that change that I seek, and I make that change active in the world. And what I know is true for me, I know is true for each and every person here. Therefore, we step forward from this place empowered as we make decisions that lift the planet by lifting ourselves individually and raising the tide for all. This is our truth, of which I am so grateful that I call forth the Spirit of Mother, Father, God, the infinite intelligence, that divine presence that knows. And I take these words, wrap them and cover them with a sweet bow of love, and deliver them to the law of mind that says, yes, my beloved, I'm so pleased with you, in you, of you, as you, that I gratefully say yes. And then I say, and so it is. Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Dee. I made it. I didn't have to use this once. She was rocking.
That's what you would have wanted.
Yes. This is how we support our center. We have an annual meeting coming up. We'll talk about that in a minute. But right now, hey, doesn't it feel nice and cozy in here today? Yeah. Whoa, that's demonstration, folks. Now we got to start paying for this darn gas bill. We might turn the thing off and tell you to bring your jackets back again soon. But anyway, those are the very ways we give, and you know them there. And if you don't, call the office, we'll tell you about them, and we're happy to take your donation. And so grateful for how everyone supports our center. And I'm going to ask you to beef it up a little bit. You know, if it feels a stress or strain with the amounts you're giving, That's a good feeling, right? So have that. And if you're starting to worry about your abundance or anything like that, try this out for size. This affirmation of abundance, because this thing works. Hey, Darlene, let's put this in the slideshow this week so people can have it at home and you can say it for yourself at other times of the day if you haven't memorized it by now. Okay, here we go. Divine love, it's doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley, and the world. Now, divine love is victorious. All right, announcements for the day, some beautiful music from Cherie, some good stuff coming up this week and this month. Check it out.
And so right here and right now, I know that divine love blesses and multiplies this abundance in a multitude of ways, and that prosperity overflows and benefits this center in ways expected and unexpected. I know that what is here before my eyes is growing digitally and in all ways that I know and can't even imagine. I know that this good is right here, right now. And I accept this abundance. I give thanks for all the giving that is in each and every one of your hearts. And I know that it will trickle in and it will overflow and it will pour forth a prosperity beyond which we have ever known at the Simi Valley Center for Spiritual Living. And so with a grateful heart, I give thanks. I give thanks for all of this and so much more that is already coming through and as the mind of God right here, right now. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you, Marianne. All right, Dennis, one last song. Before I say that, Wally Duncan, you look like you're wearing a crown. King Wally. Looking good, honey.
Shiny.
Shiny. Now, this is a Daniel Nahmod song.
Yes, this is Daniel Nahmod. It's called God Makes Me Want to Sing. And I want to see some energy out there. You guys, I know you guys. You're usually up dancing and having a great old time. So this is the one to do it. Here we go. I can't help it. I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing. Makes me feel so good. I can do most anything. Woo! I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it. God makes me wanna pray. It makes me feel so good. I can pray all night and day. Pick it up. I can't help it. God makes me wanna shout. I can't help it. God makes me wanna shout. It makes me feel so good when God's what it's all about. And I wanna sing again. I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing. Oh, I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing. It makes me feel so good. I can do most. It makes me feel so good. I can do most. It makes me feel so good. I can do most anything. Anything. Sing it with me. Anything. Anything.
Anything.
Anything.
Can't help it. Can't help it. Don't want to help it. Dennis Bryan rocking the house. Trying to take the roof off the sucker. Yeah. All right. Thank you for bringing Les. Look at all those hearts. She's just a walking love muffin there. That's beautiful. Okay. Ooh. Thank yous, thank yous, thank yous. Okay, well, I saw the Schaefers. Thank you so much for your service today. Appreciate that. Mona holding out the back door there. Deborah on the stage. And you just took a day. You got a busman's holiday. You didn't do anything today, did you? What'd you do? What did you do? Take that sign off. You're not wearing a badge today for nothing. Hey, Colin, were you running up? Oh, Greg was doing it? All right. Well, he's learning. He's got it. He's got it. Good to see you here, Gregory. Thank you so much for doing that. John, on the slides, you're rocking it, dude. I love it. You're my man. Maz! Maz, the crazy Maz man. All right, Cherie. You really bring it together with the Soul Purpose Band. You guys are amazing. Steve and Bob and Randy. And Leslie, thank you for being here. And Dennis.
Thank you.
Love you, buddy. Your voice, so good. So good. All right, Marianne, what you got?
We've got that discovery class. That's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the membership meeting.
Oh, that's right, the annual meeting.
The annual meeting, not the membership. The membership meeting is the discovery class.
Yes.
Then
Yeah.
there's the annual meeting, which is March 12th. I believe it's 12:30.
12:30.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So bring
yeah,
a sandwich.
Ooh, financial review.
Yeah.
Date of the center. Oh, and we're electing new trustees. So
Oh, wow.
if you've been thinking about stepping into that level of service, then call us and get some applications out there, because we're taking those out. We have a few seats that are open.
And then we have the discovery, Powering Your Decisions class that
Yes.
starts this Tuesday
This Tuesday,
at
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock
In the
classroom. So park around that way. I think I'm going to join you at that.
Oh, good.
And then we have our beloved Dee's celebration of life. And that is on the 11th.
The 11th at 11.
The 11th at 11. That's a Saturday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so everybody got that? There's an email that comes out, but I'm still trying to get that out of my spam and into my primary. But, you know,
It's a struggle.
keep it on your radar. We hope to see you.
Well done.
All right?
Yeah, thanks, old snappy
Thank
one.
you.
Great prayers today. All right, let's all stand and do our closing benediction, and then we shall sing our way into the day. Here we are. You ready? I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love.
Love be with you, peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in, truth come through you, make it flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you, oh, love be with you, oh, love be with you. All together, hand in hand, we see the light and take the stand. We are changing. A whole new life for you and me. Take your path and set it free. Share this blessing. Oh, love be with you. Peace unfold you. Spirit lift you. Breathe it in. Truth come through you. Make good flow to you. Let joy renew you till we meet again. Love be with you. Oh, 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 love prevails.
Wonderful.
Thank
See you
you.
next week, Wednesday night. Great service. Thanks for being here.
I don't remember what day it was, and I didn't notice what time it was. All I know is that I'm back.
You do this, ooh, I do that, ooh, you do that, ooh.
That's fun.
That is so cool.